Okay, time to boot up Minecraft and log on to Amelix for the first time here. I'm excited, starting on a fresh world, getting going. Everyone knows the best part of Minecraft is when you start a fresh world, right? Well, let's see where we're going to spawn in here. Oh, nice little location. We got a beehive over here. Okay, let's see where's... Oh. Cobwebs? What's going on here? Amelix SMP, first meeting, 9/23/2023. Wait a second. No! Hello, and welcome to episode 1 on the Amelix SMP. I'm JTO556, and I'll start things off with a little bit of a slight confession. I've been sort of a naughty little wannabe Minecraft YouTuber, and I'm going to be throwing you kind of into the deep end here. But that's okay, because I'm going to be on the ride with you. I am, at the time of recording this, Amelix's newest member, and I joined 3 weeks ago, so this world was already pretty established by then. The date on the sign that you saw in the intro was in fact correct. That was the actual start date of the server. So it's been going on for quite a few months now, and I'm still getting a little bit situated with things. We shall see how that goes. As far as work that I've done on the server so far, as you can see, I've kind of gotten geared up here, and got myself situated a little bit. For those that don't know, Amelix is a Bedrock Edition technical Minecraft server, focused on building great farms, doing cool stuff, right? So the only project that I've worked on thus far is in the Nether here, so let's hop right in and I'll show you what I've been up to. Okay, so we're here in the Nether, and you might be able to guess, but the very first project that I worked on was actually a Piglin bartering hall. So this Piglin bartering hall was designed by Gordafame, who is another one of Amelix's members, and I built this last weekend. So as you can see, we got a pretty decent sized storage system here. This is all shulker loaders with accessible shulkers. And then when the shulkers fill up, they go into these barrels here. Well, bottom barrels might be a better place to look. There we go. So, as you can see, pumping out a pretty solid number of resources. More fire charges than anybody will ever need to use. Okay, so let's hop into spectator mode here real quick, and I'll try to give a explanation of how everything works. Like I said, this was designed by Gordafame, so forgive me if I get any of the mechanics wrong here, but I will try to do my best. Also, Daniel helped me, another Amelix member, Daniel, helped me to dig this area out, and I feel kind of bad because I vastly overestimated the amount of space this would require. In fact, we could almost fit a whole second one of these in this extra space. So, I don't know, maybe we'll find something to do with this area. But otherwise, oh well, it's just a little bit bigger than necessary. Let's go into spectator mode so I can show this thing off a little bit. So we've got our dude right here, and he is actually inside of glass blocks. I know it's a little bit hard to see. There you go, from that angle you can tell. Standing on that slab. And how this works is you input the gold ingots into here in shulker boxes, and those come down here and get put into these droppers and then shot into there are more glass blocks right here, okay? Those travel upwards through the glass blocks to this guy, who is being aggroed by a gold block in here somewhere. This is it's a little bit of a tight build, as you can see. There we are. So he's being aggroed by this gold block being moved. Okay, so the current mechanics as they are, and they've been this way for a little bit, so I'm not too worried about it getting patched out. When piglins are aggroed, they trade instantly. So we can just constantly pump gold ingots to this guy, and he is going to constantly trade instantaneously. No cooldown, no pause, nothing. It's super fast, super efficient, and it makes it a lot nicer for us on Bedrock Edition than for players on Java, because they typically need to have a bunch of piglins because they have these long cooldown times, and it's just super inefficient. But on Bedrock, we are fortunately able to get away with just a single piglin to barter with. Now, this whole system back here is super tight and a little bit hard to show off here, but I'm going to do my best, and you'll have to forgive me if I get some of the aspects wrong here. Like I said, this was designed by Gordafame. I built this based on a world download, and this area is super duper tight. So basically what we've got going on here, when you put the shulker into this chest, alright, it comes over here and gets dispensed by this dispenser. This is basically just a shulker unloader, okay? This minecart, which does have a filter in it to prevent empty shulker loss, is up against this honey block, which, if you can see, there we go, that allows 2 times hopper speed unloading into these droppers, which are then fired up, and then empty shulker boxes go into this hopper and are pumped back up into the empty shulker system. Now, this setup requires a ton of shulker boxes. As you can see, we've got a little silo here measuring, and that system is super simple. You've probably seen stuff like it before. We're just measuring how many shulker boxes we've got stored in that chest and these chests here. Okay. As you can see, we have no lights. There are probably at least 2 double chests still in the system right now. So that just goes to show this really does need a lot of shulker boxes. Now, if we come around the back here, we can take a look at the empty shulker distribution, which really could not be more simple. We just got a chest minecart, comes up on the rails, and some of the wiring over here does tell the system when we need more shulker boxes coming up this way. So, other than that, we've got our filters up on the very top here. These are really, pretty standard item filter. You've seen it before, I'm sure. Filter items in here. Okay. They come down and are loaded into shulker boxes. Now, this shulker loader is a really nice design. It is, as far as I know, slice isolated, if you will. So you're not going to get stuff popping over into adjacent hoppers, which, it's not that big a deal, but it definitely is nice. And it has accessible shulkers. So if you don't want a full shulker box of something, you can get just, a couple stacks out of the shulkers here. When they fill up, they're broken and put into these barrels. Now, one of the most interesting parts of this build is actually the item distribution here. So, when our Piglin tosses out his trades, okay, he tosses them out into the glass blocks, and the glass blocks, same deal as with the gold, transports all of these items up. Now, this brewing stand aligns them, and I'm not going to pretend to be 100% certain on how this works, but basically, something with the brewing stands carries the momentum of the items forward without, any actual input being imparted. So what happens is they're aligned by this brewing stand, and then they come over and sort of just get, their momentum shifted to go this way, and then every time they kind of come across and their hitboxes intersect, it just pushes them a little further. And I'll demonstrate this in a second, because it's a little bit hard to explain. But it's basically magic. I'm fairly certain this is not an intended game mechanic, and I guess there is a risk of it being patched at some point, but it seems like such a minor thing that probably we're pretty safe as far as this build goes. Okay, so then everything just comes right along here, gets pulled into their respective filtered slice, and then, I know what you're thinking, Piglin bartering. A lot of annoying unstackables, right? So, we decided that really the only thing we wanted was the books, okay? So this part is actually not Gordafame, and you could maybe tell by how messy it is over here, instead of these nice clean filters and everything. But I kind of cobbled this together on the fly over here. What we've got is a book sorter. So all this is doing, right, is checking if the item is a book using a chiseled bookshelf, okay? So if the item is a book, all right, we're going to take it down through this hopper right here, and it comes all the way down and over into our chests. So everything that isn't a book is coming into this hopper, which then takes things around and just burns them using a little auto dropper here. So reason for this, you know, who needs 10 million iron boots? Fire resistance potions, yeah, it would have been nice, but to filter out water bottles from fire resistance potions, you need to use a system that detects for interactions in a brewing stand, and it requires constant input of blaze powder. It's also kind of a bulky system, so it's really just not worth it. We figured it's better. We can separate the books out easily. We'll take the books, and then after that, we can just burn everything else. Who cares, right? So let's hop back into survival here. Oh. Ah. And I'll show you this thing in action. I'm going to have to be a little bit quick getting back into spectator mode once I throw this in. Got some gold blocks here. Oh, do I need an empty shulker? Alrighty. Let's show this thing in action. Alright, so as you can see, you can kind of see items getting shot up. Oh, and it's important this piglin is oriented in the corner. Okay, now let's check out these items. Look at this. Isn't that just insane? I have no idea how this works, but it does, and it just slides them all the way along here. So that's pretty neat. Super convenient for the nether, since we can't use water streams. Now, I think that's about all we've got going on here. Oh, the decor was all done by me. Unless you don't like it, in which case it was somebody else. It was JTO 557. Can you believe that guy? Awful builder. Anyway, let's head back up. And I guess we can talk about a couple of the other little things that I've done. Other than getting geared up and then building this Piglin bartering setup, all I've done is craft a few shulker boxes full of boats, because I figured we should have boats in the nether hub. That was one thing I did. And then I also went end raiding, and I got us a ton of elytras, about a shulker box and a half's worth, because when I first joined, we were totally out. So I restocked us on elytras. Over here I can show you the old Piglin bartering setup. This was just kind of a pretty manual system. You just threw in gold. Gold got shot out. There's a Piglin right here that I did definitely steal to put in the one that I built. And all you did was, this was the aggro system. You turn it on, it shoots the gold, and then you just have to stand here and pick it all up. So you can see we've got a good amount of stuff from that up here, and I guess we need some fire resistance potions. There's a good bit left over from this here. But all in all, I think it was worth taking a day and building that upgraded system. Okay guys, so I think that's going to wrap things up for today. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully in the coming weeks I'll be able to give videos that go over the actual process of working on these projects. And hopefully we'll be doing some collaboration with the other Amelix members. We'll be able to get on at the same time here and get some really impressive, massive technical builds done.